And this is another video about our relationship to our parents. As many of you maybe know or experienced who drank ayahuasca, very often ayahuasca brings in the first ceremonies, in the first part of our journey with ayahuasca, very, very often it goes to the relationship with our parents. We see our traumas with them, we see all the different patterns, what shaped and formed us in a way, how we operate, who we are. And we very often see in this healing experiences about the relationship to our parents, the healing when we were a child and children, how certain things had an impact on us, how this is related to the relationship I have to myself. How did I adapt to certain patterns and thinking patterns or things my mom or my dad told me and told me and told me, and then I start to continue telling that to myself. And some of the stuff might be great and good, but also many of the things are limiting us and causing harm in us and causing blockages in us. And we also explore in these, most of the time it's in the first ceremonies or the first dietas where it's about that, in my experience and witnessing others in their experience, that it's I lost the train of thoughts. Yeah, that it's really about recognizing all these blockages, limitations, and also the function of it, how it protected us when we were little, or how we develop these protective mechanisms when we grow up, or to feel less pain, and how we disconnected to certain emotions, or how we disconnected to our authenticity in order for attachment, and so on. Like all these endless inner patterns and architectures and forms we have, which drove us or drive us through life, who make us react to certain situations because we react out of the past of certain patterns. So I feel like the relationship, the healing of the relationship to our parents, or to get more aware and conscious towards our parents and the relationship and the impact, is a very, very important part when we work with ayahuasca or when we do the plant dietas, what we offer in True Journey. And it's so complex and it's huge, and how this then reflects in our awareness, how we treat ourselves, how we hold space for ourselves, how we guide ourselves, how we do decisions. And to clean this ground, it's a process, and usually for most of the people a longer process, because it also needs to be integrated, implemented in life. And not everything we see in the first moment and in the ceremony, zack, boom, bang, we go with it outside in life. Maybe some of you are that heroes and are so good with creating new neuronal pathways, and old ones get cut off and new. Some people are very quick and very good with that. And for some people, it needs more rounds. We go back in old patterns, we go forward, back, forward. We need to meet our parents, we need to be in this environment to get triggered, to notice the depths of our triggers, to learn to be aware, to learn to observe, and then to choose differently, to create a space of responsibility, to create a space to respond differently. And it's a huge learning. It's a huge learning. And very often in that process, we have times where we blame our parents, where we get angry, upset. Why didn't they see what happened? Why were they not there? Why did they neglect me there? Why did they not feel me? Why did they not see me? Why did they not hear me? This is why I created all this neediness of being heard and being felt and being seen. And that's why I created these dynamics in relationships and intimate relationships where I'm acting out of a lack or a need instead of fullness and richness. And there's so much connected to. Why did that not support me to be an artist? Why did they tell me I have to study economics or whatever, just examples. So it's very, very normal that when we go through this process, also with ayahuasca, where we go through all these childhood relational things with our caregivers and our parents, that there might come times of frustration and pain and grief and blame. I recommend you very strongly sit with that. Feel that. It's just part of your own personal process. And be very mindful how you talk with your parents or how you project that out to your parents. Um, in my experience, it's good to take some time to integrate it and also always to remind what is the story from your parents. Having also compassion where your parents are coming from. What background do they have? What trauma did they experience? How much support did they had in their life? And I really deeply believe parents always do their best. And sometimes there's a lot of trauma, a lot of hurt, and a lot of pain. And if you are connected to healing modalities, maybe to plant medicine or to something else, you are able to heal that. And that's your responsibility. When we grow up, when we are an adult, the responsibility and the empowerment is I can heal that. If I blame others and I'm the victim, I'm not empowered. If I take responsibility and I trust that I can heal these things, I find own power and strength inside of me. And if I can remind myself to be grateful for the things my parents did for me and how they took care about me, things might shift, and from a place of gratefulness, maybe it's even also, if necessary, easier to talk with parents and to communicate with them also about difficult situations or about trauma. This depends on you and your parents. Some parents may be very open and they are open to receive this critical feedback, and maybe some parents really get defensive. I don't know. But own it as your own process and own all these emotions and learn to feel them and see it as a process. Usually, when we continue working with plant medicine, there is a part we are frustrated, we are angry, but then we come to compassion and gratefulness and love to our parents. And that's so, so, so healing. That's so, so, so healing. And that's forgiveness also to self, forgiveness to them, and it's a higher understanding, which includes also the compassion. So, yeah, I just wanted to share that also regarding our parents, and they did always the best, and they took care. Otherwise, you would not be here. If they would not have taken care and fed you and give you what you needed to survive, you would have died. What also happens, that children die, right? So if you are still alive, they did some good stuff, right? Okay, ciao.